this is a short video just to go over my current RPG project. So I've got the stats working as intended, so health, mana, stamina, XP, and leveling up. When the player reduces any of these stats, like stamina, mana, or health, they'll regen, and they all have their own regen amount and regen rates. And then XP-wise, when the player levels up, the next level increases, so they need more XP every time. And then when the player does level up, they get like this little effect, but they also get this these skill points that can be used to level up attributes. So onto attributes. So there's 5 different attributes which are going to modify different things, which I still need to implement. But at the moment, I've got the points available. When you've got points available, you can put points into different attributes and level them up. And then if I get some more points, I can level them up some more. Then I also have these items down here. So I've got the inventory system working now. So I've got inventory here. There's nothing in it at the moment because it's empty. And then I've got all these different items. I've got, as you can see, I've got this scroll thing that changes the perspective of the camera. So when I scroll in, I can go first person, and I've got this trace going to where I'm facing, so I can look at different items, and it'll tell me what they are if I'm in range. So there's iron boots, iron chest, a gold necklace, a bucket, skeleton skull, skeleton torso. I've made the items using a data table, and then I just have to select what data table row is going to be used for each item, so it makes it easier for adding more items. So then I can press E to pick up items, and then once I've picked up the items, they get added to the inventory, and it tells me how many items how many of each item I have. So if I just go around and pick a few of these up, it'll populate the inventory. There's no max capacity of the inventory because I want to go the Skyrim route where it just has a carry capacity, and if you overcap the carry capacity, your movement will be slowed and then eventually be stopped instead of having a limit. And then with the items in the inventory, each one can be selected, and depending on what the item is, depends what it can be used for. At the moment, the only one that's functional is the health potion consumable. So the potions and like food will be consumables, which can be used, and they'll be eaten or consumed and removed from the inventory because they've been used, and then they'll perform whatever effect it has. So at the moment, health potions will replenish health. So if I go over to the health minus, I can then open up my items, health at the top left. If I drink some, you can see it goes up, and then it removes one from the inventory. So then I can just use them. Equipment doesn't equip yet, but when I get the equipment in, it'll mean I can equip it, and I'm going to try and use it similar to the Skyrim, where it doesn't remove it from the inventory. It'll just have a symbol to represent it's been equipped in the type of thing. Oh, that's a thing at the moment. But yeah, that's the inventory. And then combat-wise, got the 2 different combat states and the attacking working on the combat. When you're in out of combat, the character will turn to where they're moving, but when you're in combat, it will face the camera, so it's easier to fight. And so like if I'm walking left, I'm still facing left, I'm just strafing left, right, and back. And when I'm out of combat, I actually turn and run, but then as soon as I enter combat, I will make it so you go back into the combat state. So I've got the spell state, which you'll use like magic and cast different spells depending on what spell you have equipped. The one-handed state, where you'll use a one-handed weapon to attack. And then I've also got, these are target dummies, they just react to when they're hit. But I've also got this NPC AI that's just free roaming at the moment. They run around. They can also be hit. I think they can also die. Oh, I am using a training sword though, so I'm doing a mighty 1 damage. So it will take a while to kill that. Questing is in the works. I've used a tutorial to get the basics of like how questing can be implemented. I've looked at a few different methods of how they can be implemented, and they all boil down to the same kind of logic, where you have the main quest, which can be either used as a blueprint or a struct of different information, and then save it somewhere like a quest manager, which I'm going to create a quest manager act component, and then have different objectives, goals, or steps for each quest. So say this testing of quests, I could have it reach the trigger box, so a reach, and then I could have it collect an item, and that'd be different goals within that quest, or I could have them as different quests themselves. But I'm going to be working on the questing system next, same as the inventory. I'd like to get inventory working, and then basic actions are working as well.